Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that are watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that are going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. A special welcome to all our honored guests. Today is a groundbreaking satsang or service in that we have achieved through the initiation a world first. Did we not?
Yes.
And we're showing through our interfaith that there is just one humanity. God created one humanity. It is the melanin, a chemical in the skin, that created races, not God. God did not create race. God created humanity. The chemical melanin and your geographical status gave you and I color. So we do not blame God for being Africans. We do not blame God for being Indians. We do not blame God for being the Sand Nation. And we do not blame God for the Europeans. So deficiency in this chemical called melanin gave us whites. Whites have a deficiency in the chemical melanin, and that deficiency in that chemical also reduces bonding. Do you know what bonding is? You think whites like to bond? Do whites like to bond? And where you learn this from? How can we practically verify this? As soon as the child is born, what do? It is natural for whites from day one of the child's birth to give the child to a mate. Yes? You see a natural bonding between whites and the children, or you see a bonding for the sake of bonding? Guru is going to get into trouble here with the European world, but you think I care? Don't care. It's a truth. They show it. It is a scientific truth. As soon as the children are born, they hand it over to the maid. The child has a bigger bond with the maid than the parents. Yes or no?
Yes.
It's because of the chemical melanin. When it is reduced to that amount, then there is a lack of biological bonding. Does it make sense? That is why they got no feelings living off our wealth whilst we are starving and they are flying high in the world. Aren't they? Whose resources they are living off? Do they have a conscience?
No.
You ever saw a white toy-toying for black injustices? Maybe one or two here and there, alright? But it's because they don't have conscience and they don't have the bonding. If they don't have it for their own children, who are we? Who are we? So we set in the stage we setting the stage to reclaim what is ours spiritually. We setting the stage here at the Sri Narayan Dham. I started in 2001. The spiritual revolution has started since 2001. That is how Prince was reached. He was reached through spirituality, and all of you who are here today, you all are reached through spirituality. God is sick and tired of the white man. And you saw their barbaric behavior 2 days ago. Did you all watch how barbaric they were in the White House? Aren't they barbarians? But they say that we blacks are barbaric. Would black leadership have ever acted in that barbaric manner when the whole world was watching? Because blacks, no matter how suppressed we are, we have dignity. We have dignity, no matter how suppressed we are. If we were sitting in the Oval Office, we would have done it in a dignified way. But it is the Supreme Lord that is showing us their barbaric nature. They themselves have shown us who they really are. That is who they are. They've been hiding superficially behind the white skin. When we were civilized, they were barbarians. Do you know that? When the blacks were civilized, the Europeans were barbarians. They used to use the streets and pathways as toilets. And they used to bath once a month. Do you know that? It is history. Go and Google it, go and find it. But when they met us, they learned civilization. India was one continent and Africa was the other continent. Both these continents were very highly civilized. There were sewer systems, there were bathrooms, there were toilets. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they stole our civilization. They stole our civilization. They gave us a Bible and they said, follow this Bible, you'll go to heaven. Does it matter for you and I? Does heaven matter to us? Realistically speaking, if God put us on earth, why should we worry about heaven? Where we are now, what we should be worried about. When we go to heaven, we'll see what happens. Because you can't get employed here from heaven. You can't eat food here from heaven. You cannot have a family here from heaven. Heaven is abstract, is it not? We want tangible things from earth. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. When we reach heaven, we'll see, okay, we are now. What's the rules and regulations? Yeah, where we are. Now we are on earth. We want the rules and regulations of earth. So whilst we both on the Indian continent and on the African continent, we were dreaming about heaven, what they are doing. And what one of the commandments in the 10 commandments? How many of the commandments in the 10 commandments is this European society following? Thou shalt not kill. Did they not kill us with guns? Are they following the Bible? Seriously, let's look at the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Are they not stealing? Are they not stealing? They gave us the 10 commandments. but they have transgressed every one of the 10 commandments. Have they not? So what is the purpose? What is the purpose? So it's time now we start discussing this, not in small corners. We on the internet, this discourse is going to 49 countries around the world now, as I speak. We need to start discussing this because they colonized our mind so that we only discuss this in shebeens and taverns. They brought alcohol to us. Who brought alcohol to India? Who brought alcohol to Africa? Are they alcoholics? But they made us alcoholics. So that whilst we are drowned in alcohol, they're busy stealing. They're busy stealing. So we need to unite, which is what I'm doing now, like this. And we have to embrace African spirituality. We have to embrace African spirituality. You can be a Christian African, but you must not throw away your spirituality. Because religion was supposed to give you the higher, one step higher than religion is spirituality. You use religion as a ladder, you reach spirituality. When you are spiritual, you don't need religion anymore because you passed all your dimensions, you passed all your tests. You understand? So we need to use these opportunities. We need to get brave to reclaim. There's 3 countries in Africa, they already started their revolution materially. 3 countries in Africa have already started. They kicked the French out. They don't need the French. They're using their own things. They're using their own gas. And they're creating their own economy. This needs to spread throughout Africa. This needs to spread throughout Africa. We are not poor. Africa is not poor. Africa is the richest nation in the world. Donald Trump needs Africa. Africa does not need Donald Trump. You understand? You saw what these Europeans are after. They're only after minerals. Now they want to do a deal with Ukraine, not for humanitarian sake, not because all those Ukrainians were killed. They want a deal for the raw mineral out there, which is in trillions. So we need to educate our community, we need to educate our family. When we sit with our family, we need to start spiritualizing our family and telling them these Europeans are stealing from us. We don't care if AfriForum and all the followers go to America. Look at the contradiction of America. Trump started sending all the Mexicans back to, because they are refugees. He started sending all the Indians back to India because they're not his race. These Afrikaners who got nothing to do with him, all of a sudden he found space for them in America. Does it make sense? When you're getting rid of people, and you're making space for a couple million white people because they are white. You understand? So we need to take all of this into cognizance. We need to understand our status. We need to understand where we are in our country. And we need to take action. We need to take action together. We got one of our brothers there in Parliament. We need to arm him with spiritual AK-47s, with spiritual 9mm. Anything else, Prince?
Bombs and
spiritual nuclear bombs, spiritual grenades. When you go there, you in the religious sector, your people, which includes the whole of South Africa, need to be the research, not some person doing a research in the computer. We are the research, we are the evidence of the research. We are suffering, that suffering is your research. That is what you need to present in Parliament. So coming back, I gave you a general overview. We're coming back to the San Nation, especially the Shlaki Kwa. Last week, I had a high-ranking member from the San Nation who's the leader in Botswana. He was here last week on his own, coincidentally, and this week we are here. Okay? So the momentum is building. The momentum is building. It means God wants us to take this to the next level. The reason I cannot work with the Khoi San, I'm trying from 2023, is because everyone is the king. There are no subjects. No subjects. Whoever I spoke to, they are the king. Okay? So we cannot move forward if everyone is the king. So I've spoken, we've had lengthy meetings with my brothers from the Shlatikwa, all the paramount chiefs are here today. And we said there is no money involved. We're not dealing in money. We're not interested in Kokta and the money. We're interested in liberating the Shlatikwa nation from the ravages of colonialism and our current status quo from the government. This government have not recognized us. We want a recognition certificate from the government, my friend, which we're going to help you to pass a bill. We're going to try it diplomatically. We're going to give you documentation. We're going to present it to Parliament through your portfolio. And if they do not adhere, then we will come and we got no land. We'll take the Parliament as our land. In that tent, we will come and live there with you all. In that tent until we're not asking the government to recognize us. Government has no mandate to recognize us. What mandate has the government got to recognize us? What criteria are they going to use to recognize us? We are self-recognized. We know who we are. We're going to tell the government that we are the Shlatikwa of the San Nation, and we want a certificate from you endorsing our recognition by ourselves. You think that's right? We identify who we are. Because they're going to come and they're going to see the weakest link. They say, hey, there's 200,000, you wanted to say no. Then you say the next chief, no. That chief say, hey, make it 400,000. Then they make a deal and they come through and they mess up the whole thing. So we're not interested in money at this point in time. We're interested in the recognition of our identity. We're going to do this in phases. And that is why we have you there, my brother, in Parliament. And if you fail in Parliament, it's not you that failed. It's a government. You're going to give us evidence on how the government is failing. And we're going to support you from here right up to Parliament. We're going to be there when you need us. We will be there when you need us. We're starting this spiritually. This is not NATO. I learned this phrase I was at the G20 meeting 2 weeks ago. And the deputy leader of the G20, she said this is not NATO. NATO means no action, talk only. What NATO means? No action, talk only. This is not NATO. Okay? See, I learned something great from this lady when I went to the G20. And whilst we're discussing the G20, the Shlatykwa nation of the San received the highest embrace from the G19. Our South African is the 20th country, so leave South Africa out. The 19 countries, our prince sat at the highest level delegation. He sat with the president of the G20, and we got recognized internationally. And Prince will send you a clip of my discourse in 2023, where I met Prince for 8 days. On the 8th day, I gave a discourse here in 2023, and I said I'm taking the San Nation to international status. And I did that 2 weeks ago by being invited at the G20. Remember, for any religious organization to be invited by the G20 is not a small thing. Okay? And just a quick background on why we were invited. Professor Mocheka, you'll know him, Angie Mocheka's husband. He's been leading an interfaith in the ANC for the past 30 years. He was just head of that committee. There was no practical interaction between interfaith itself. And I met him in 2023. I invited him. He came to my ashram 3 times. He took videos and photos because my interfaith is the real interfaith. You can see as we are seated here, and those of you that were here on Wednesday. So he took the videos and photos of this interfaith and he sent it to the International Interfaith Committee for South Africa to be recognized as an interfaith nation. And Professor Mocheka has given us an email stating what I stated now. So it is referenced there in the email. So this ashram got its ticket in the G20 by being actively involved in interfaith itself, practically, not NATO, practically being involved in interfaith. So we're standing here today, and I am going to be working with Professor Mocheka. We met the ambassador of the African Union, and he's going to take us throughout Africa expounding African spirituality. We're taking this, what we're doing here to the ashram, and we're moving throughout Africa. So sitting here today, I told Prince 2 years ago that I have everything on my side in terms of scripture and knowledge. But you come with what you have, and I will meet you there, so that there is no pressure from my side and there is no bias. Nobody can tell me that I have influenced anything, any culture, tradition, or spirituality of the San Nation through Hinduism. So whatever Prince has brought to me from the archives of his dad and Robert Sobukwe, I am interfacing with that. So he's bringing it to me, I'm synthesizing it, and we making that into a scriptural document so that the San Nation have something in writing. We are in the 21st century. We do not need to go to the caves and read pictures, because now we're in the 21st century. So whatever Prince gives me, like he brought the document out, Prince, later you must show everyone where my name is. Where my name is, then I synthesized with that, and we reached a position in the biography. So whatever you find, whatever you bring, both from your side and other African spirituality traditions, then I will connect and bridge my side to it and say, I have it in writing and you have given it to me, orally or scripturally. Are we understanding? So the San Nation, I want to say again, because some mischievous people is going to go and now start commenting on these social media platforms saying the Guru is converting. Spirituality, nobody can convert. Spirituality is spirituality. Only in religion you can convert. Only in religion. So I'm a spiritual master. I'm not a religious master. I am a spiritual master. Stand up, my friend. Yeah, you can stay there. Prince, just explain this. I want, yeah, you can turn the camera to him. I want to make this real. I want to make this real and I want to explain spirituality. Prince, just give us a small overview why I asked this man to stand.
Yesterday, our paramount chiefs arrived here at 4 o'clock. And we didn't expect him to come because he was sick. But he wanted to come to meet us, to be part of this historical event, but he was not well. He was very weak, but when they arrived, we had a breakfast, and then we dropped them in the BNP. But I came to Guru and I said, Guru, my paramount chief is not right, and he is the paramount chief that was part of the people that took me to Eastern Cape, to where I was raised. So I'm having a special bond with him. So now, since I've been here in Ashram, I know the power of Ashram because it has transformed me. So if you permit me, I would like him to sleep with me here. And then we had some meetings, and then the chiefs went away, and then Guru said to him, you see now you are in, but I'm giving you 1 hour. And he said to me, Prince, take him there to Goshala. He must go and feed there. So we went together, and then when the chief came back to have the supper, they were surprised, and he was well. As you see now, indeed it is a miracle, and this miracle has been confirmed by our paramount chief. I think.
Okay. Put the camera back, lift your leg up, show them how fit you are. Yesterday he was holding the tumbler like this to drink his mineral. Slowly like this. Lift your one leg up, show them how fit you are. See, he's standing on one leg. He couldn't grab a tumbler. Alright, why am I saying this? Am I saying this to show how great I am, Siddham Baba? Am I doing this? Did I do this to show how great I am? I did this to show you how great the Supreme Lord is. How great the Supreme Lord is. If he can fix one man, you think he can't fix the nation? So this is why this incident happened, to show you that we are at the right place. God is involved. God is involved. And God is going to ensure that very soon we're going to get what we want. Okay? So as I said this at the G20, that I do not like to plant a seed, water it halfway, and then somebody else come and water it, then it grows into a tree, then somebody else eat the fruit. That's not my style. Me, I'm planting the seed, I'm watering the seed, I'm nourishing the tree, and I'm eating the fruit all in my lifetime. Why must I plant the seed for somebody else to come and water the tree? So this thing is going to happen quickly. It's going to happen fast. And we have everyone in position. And I told Prince in 2023 that President Zuma is going to play a critical role in bringing peace and prosperity to the San nation. At that point in time, President Zuma was still in the ANC. And I had reports from very close confidants that President Zuma was never going to leave the Yes. But we prophesied here at the ashram, notwithstanding what President Zuma was feeling at that time, we turned him into MK. We turned him into MK, and again, my brother, you're going to connect us to a 2-hour meeting with President Zuma. All right, first meeting, 2 hours with President Zuma. That is your role, Prince, to make that possible. So all the prophecies in regard is now coming to bear fruit. 2023 is a long time. Now we're in 2025. 2 years ago, but it's bearing fruit. And I know President Zuma do not have the full true story.
Yes.
We need to take the absolute truth to him so that he can start acting, because we want a commission. We want a commission for emotional reparations, not financial, emotional reparations, because our nation is wounded.
Yes.
And those that wounded our nation, we need to sit at a table and apologize. We need an apology from the current government and the current status quo. And we want to start in Natal. Like the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, we want a commission, we want research, and we want to sit in a hall, and we were butchered. Our children's head were severed off their necks, and those heads were taken as rocks and thrown into houses and windows. That is hard to recover from. It is in our genes. When a new child is born, the child is born with that scar because it is genetically transferred. Yes or no?
Yes.
We want healing. You don't have to give us a house and heal us. We want you to verbally heal us. We want to sit with you, and we want to hear a nation apologizing to another nation. That is all we want. We don't want money. We don't want your Reserve Bank. I'm saying for now. For now. For now, we want to become emotionally neutralized. We want to feel as human beings again, because you don't treat humans like that. If you chop heads, then you're treating us like animals, because we only chop animals head off. If you're chopping humans head off, then that means you categorize us. Our status quo is still as animals, aren't we? This is what we are feeling, yes or no? Yes. This is what I want to take to President Zulu. Because he is the most prolific Zulu he has been since our democracy. He is the only Zulu that has authentically carried forward the Zulu nation's story in this country. And now we want him to be involved, physically involved. As he is involved in MK, he must give us the same ear, because it is useless having one part of KwaZulu-Natal in a positive direction and the other part we are not healthy. We are mentally ill. We are emotionally ill. We are psychologically ill. And the spiritual outcome of this illness is to rectify at a commission. It don't have to be an expensive commission. We're not asking for lots of money. We can do it here at the ashram. Yes? And we have a problem. We have a problem because who's the minister of Kokta? Which party he comes from? And who killed us? So you think Kokta is going to recognize us? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there's so many avenues we have to pursue. Our road is not clear cut and shortcut, but we can influence it. Our problem in South Africa is we are a talk shop. We are a talk shop. We say the reason we are poor is because of white monopoly capital. Yes? Who are the customers of this white monopoly capital? Who? We. If we unite, they'll have nothing to sell. All these Checkers, Pick and Pay, all these malls, we don't need to go there. That is colonial mind imprisonment. They bluff you that if you have to buy your 5 Roses tea, you must go to Gateway and buy it. It tastes better. You can buy the same 5 Rose tea from the Spaza shop. Yes? Yes. So we need to get up. We need an active citizenry. We need to start mobilizing. And we need honest leaders. We need honest leaders. And I think, Pastor Angel, I'm sure you're going to agree with me that if we form a religious front, nothing can touch us. Because in our churches, in our mosques, in our temples, in our ashrams, if we say don't buy white monopoly, we must not buy white monopoly. We have capacity. We are not stupid people. We are not stupid. South Africa has capacity to do anything. We can make our own nuclear armaments here. Would South Africans itself, you don't need one white man in anything in this country. We don't need a white man in this country. When I say white man, I'm talking about these colonizers and these ordinary white people, the younger generation, we need to touch their consciousness. These white people that's in university, we need to go to university and tell them how barbaric their parents and grandparents are. Not were, are. Yes, apartheid is still carrying on, is it not? You can hear me? We're still in apartheid. This democracy hardly made any change. This democracy hardly made any change. I come from civil engineering background. We work at the rivers. We do sand mining. We supply block yards. Those rivers, wherever I worked for wood 30 years ago, the condition at those rivers are the same. The roads are the same. The children are still bathing in the river. One child got distinctions about 10 years ago at one of the rivers I was working in, and that baby used to bath in the river. You understand? What has changed? There was a miracle that occurred in South Africa. A miracle. Our blacks became whites. You'll notice that?
Yes.
Our elite from the ANC, they became whites. Because the whites told them, our current president is in that position. He's a white man. Is he not a white man?
Yes.
He's making us suffer just like, give me one of the old names, Prince. John Foster. No difference between him and John Foster. What's the difference? The majority is still suffering. In John Foster's time, majority was still suffering. P.W. Bota's time, majority is still suffering. And Ramaphosa's time, majority is still suffering. And at the expense of the suffering of the majority, he still wants a presidential increase, and he's a billionaire on his salary. Then he wanted to increase VAT by 2%. So, I completed my biography. It's going to be presented to me now. I think you can come and just, Chief is going to present the biography. Then I just want to touch on it for a few minutes. Yeah, it's here. Oh, no, he's going to bring it. You turn the camera or move one camera back. Thank you.
Guru, can we just get a picture?
What?
This is the book.
This is the book. Oh, this is what? Lena elungiselelwe wena.
This is the book that was prepared for you by our nation.
Echaza ngobomi bakho.
That talks about your life.
Esibulela ke ngayo thina mave thina se.
We give thanks to you through this book.
Omsebenzi ke omhle osenzele wona.
We give thanks through this book by the work that you have done for us.
Sibulela kakhulu ke ngaloo nto enkosi.
We give thanks by the work that you have done. You are standing in front of you on behalf of the nation. We are the paramount chief of the nation. We have sent to convey this gratitude to you.
Thank you. This is a manuscript. This is a manuscript. I think it's going to be many, just over 1.4 thousand pages, this biography. And the reason I brought it in at this moment is because it's my life's mission from the age of 14 to do what I'm doing now. 45 years later, it has come to fruition, and everything in this biography is referenced. This is an academic biography endorsed by University of KZN. But since Prince is also the marketing manager of this biography, he's causing a problem with my relationship with University of KZN, because now many universities are fighting for this biography. Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Pretoria. Prince went and sold this copyright to everybody. Alright? So this is an academic paper, and I want this, the reason we're doing this is we want academia, our young children, to understand God. To understand God, because colonialism took God out of academia. Yes or no?
Yes.
We need to reinforce God back in academia, because our children, they grow up religious, they go to university, then they start disbelieving their customs and traditions because they think the academic education is higher and superior than the tradition, culture and religion they're following. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So this biography is made to bridge that gap. And if you want to talk to students at university, you have to speak to them without suspicion. You have to speak to them academically. Yes?
Yes.
You have to speak to them in terms of atoms, molecules, protons, neutrons, vacuoles, plasmodesmata, animal cell, plant cell. When you speak in this language, do they understand us? This is in our religion. All this is in our tradition. Atoms is in our tradition. Molecules is in our tradition. All these things are in our tradition. So I'm interfacing our tradition, both African spirituality and Indian spirituality. I'm just calling that for context, but there's only one spirituality. You can't give spirituality a name, because spirituality is spiritual science. You understand? You can't say African spirituality or Indian spirituality. So right here I just want to discuss the soul quickly. So we all know, both Africans and Indians, that we are not this body. We know that. We know that. There is a spark inside this body that's keeping this body alive, which is called the soul in English. In English it's called the soul. This soul is comprised of two attributes. Inside the soul, there's two attributes. One attribute is knowledge. One attribute is, the other attribute is blissfulness. Blissfulness. This every soul has the same attribute, and every soul is identical. Every soul have the same two attributes, and every soul is identical. It is only this body that we're wearing is different. Like you get a Willard's battery, you put it in a Porsche, it gives the Porsche life. You put it in a Ford, it gives a Ford life. You put it in a Mercedes, it gives a Mercedes life. But the battery is Willard's all the time. Same Willard battery, one battery put in different cars with different shapes and different colors, give life to all different vehicles, but the battery is one, the manufacturer is one, it's made by Willard. So similarly, the soul inside us is the same, just like the Willard battery, but we put in different vehicles. So if there's two attributes and one attribute is knowledge, it means all the souls got the same knowledge. You agree with me? If all the souls are identical and they have knowledge as an attribute, that means that knowledge has also to be identical, because souls are eternal. What eternal means? What eternal means?
Never ends.
It has no beginning, it has no end, and it can't change in the middle. It can't change in the middle. So if all the souls got the same knowledge, then that means, what is the soul? Is it a material concept or a spiritual concept? Spiritual. Then the word spirituality comes from the soul, and it comes from the Supreme Soul, who is the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord will always be identical. The soul will always be identical, and spiritual knowledge will always be identical, because it is eternal. And what is eternal can't be changed. So whatever I know as a guru today, is not something very great. Why? Because you have it too. You have it too. That same data, that same quantum of knowledge which is in my soul is also in yours. What is different is traditions and cultures that pertains to the body. Tradition pertains to the body, culture pertains to the body, and religion pertains to the body. How can we prove religion pertains to the body? Because one day you can be Christian, tomorrow you can be Suleiman, yes? And the next day you can be Baha'i faith, and the next day you can be a Jew. In 4 days this body can take 4 religions, yes? But does the soul change? That means the soul has no religion. Yes? So this is where we are going. This is where we all need to go. So also in this discourse, Prince has informed me that the deity that the Slatikwa, I'm only dealing with the Slatikwas. The deity that the Slatikwa worship is called Kwamata. Kwamata. And the spectral recognition of this deity has a lion's head and a human body. So, in my religion, in Sanatan Dharma, we have the exact deity. We have the exact deity. He's called Narsima. Narsima, he has a lion's head and he has a human body. This is one of the incarnations of that form of the Lord. See on the extreme right, you see the Lord with 4 hands. This Narsima is an incarnation when he has the head of a lion. There's a story behind it. If I tell you, my chiefs won't go home today. That's how long the story is, alright? But we'll be storytelling, because storytelling is part of our tradition and culture, is it not? Yes, authentic, rich storytelling which makes sense to our people. So we will be storytelling, we will be writing books. So when Prince gave me this image, it synthesized with the image in Hinduism. It's the same thing. Lion head. Then Prince also told me that there is a bird, an eagle head on a human body. Is that right? Tico. So your Tico is our Garuda. Because we also have a deity, human body, and eagle head. Can you see how similar we are? And can you see how groundbreaking this event is? Because I am not pushing anything to you. What you got, I'm synthesizing and I'm saying, let's take this forward. And thirdly, we have Hanuman Baba, which you all call Shlati Guru. Same deity, human body, a monkey head. We call Hanuman Baba, you call Shlati Guru. So I'm going to present on the 26th, Jessica, you need another coordination quickly. On the 26th of April, we're going to create a small shrine first because we do not have money for big shrines. The size of the shrine does not matter. The intention of the shrine is what is utmost. So I'm going to present this shrine at a function on the 26th of April, which is a Saturday, Prince. Saturday. We're going to have a 4-hour drive starting early in the morning. Okay, and we're going there and we're going to get this shrine consecrated. What does consecrated mean? We're all going to sit outside the shrine and we're going to repeat 108 times together. Kwa, ma, ta. We're going to do it like this. Kwa, ma, ta. Then the next beat. Kwa, ma, ta. Then the next beat. Kwa, ma, ta. See again, Hinduism is, I'm not pushing Hinduism, but we're spiritualizing this event by repeating the name 108 times, and I'll give 6 friends to the 6 paramount chiefs. So at different locations they will make their shrines, all the friends will be consecrated, and the spiritual life of the San nation begins. Are you happy, my brother Prince? Are you happy? You think it's the right way to go? Okay, there's nothing I've done, I'm only leading this movement. Not even leading, I'm holding hands and walking together with you, side by side. Let's not say leading, I'm holding hands and walking side by side with you to give birth or re-establish the San spirituality. Let's use the word re-establish the San spirituality. All of you all agree? You think it's the right thing? Pastor Angel, I can't see your face. Are you in agreement with me?
Yes.
And I hope to see you there.
Yes.
It's a long journey. We'll be providing lots of vegetables. Pastor Angel is a vegetarian, so she's covered. And I hope next year this time when we're having a function, all my chiefs tell me they are vegetarian. All my chiefs tell me they are vegetarians, because the original San, going right back, the San spiritualists were all vegetarians. Go and research, they were all vegetarians. If you want to know how to leave meat, ask your king. Ask your king. Your king knows. He will teach you how to leave meat. But meat leaves you. You don't have to leave meat. There come a time in your mind when you going to say ow.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, whilst you are shocked, I used to eat meat 3 times a day. How many times? 3 times. I'm only a vegetarian. I started in 2013. In 12 years, I'm a vegetarian. 12 years, I'm a vegetarian. I'm here from Reservoir Hills most of my life. I'm 62. I'm here 55 years. There's a butcher shop on top called Reservoir Hills Butchery. That man, only for me, not my big family, only for me, half a sheep every week. Half a sheep every week. You can go and ask him, he's crying there because lots of business. 2 sheep per month for the past 12 years. So next to his butcher shop was a pharmacy that should be open till 10 o'clock. If I was at work after 6, he'll take my half a sheep and he'll leave it in the pharmacy. Then I come later and take it home. And I remember 8 parcels. How many parcels? 7 good ones and 1 bony one. Alright? So my wife cut it, breakfast, meat. Lunch, meat. Supper, meat. Until 13 years ago. So right up to I was 50, I was eating meat 3 times a day. I was smoking 100 cigarettes a day. Yeah, there's my biography here. It's over 1,000 pages. It tells you Guru was on the other side. Only 13 years ago I came on this side. 50 years I was on that side. Alright? And I was enjoying my whiskey. When the money got less, it came brandy. And when the money got even less, it came Smirnoff. And when there was no money, it became milk stout. Hey, my chiefs are happy. My paramount chiefs are happy. Now they say this is a real guru. Pastor Angel, they happy, they identified.
Yeah.
Okay? So I've been there. I have been there. But if I did not stop these things, today I could not be helping you. I still love my meat. I'm not going to lie. I still love my meat. I still love my alcohol. I like to wobble. I like that. As soon as I stop walking straight, the first wobble, that's when I should be happy. I said, hey, I had a good drink. You know, as I'm walking straight, I have to catch a table. Then I know the drink is working in me. I pay my money and it's right. You understand? And I like my cigarette. 100 cigarette means I'm only not smoking when I'm sleeping, or if I'm eating, or if I'm doing some work. Lighter was lasting a long time. Why? Why the lighter was lasting a long time? I'm lighting with this cigarette, I'm lighting the next cigarette. Hey, there's a man happy too. Alright? So I gave it up because God said to do His work, I have to give that up. Alright? So sometimes in life we have to make sacrifices not for ourselves, but for other people. Yesterday what you all eat? You all don't eat meat. Huh? You all ate meat. What you all eat in the curry? You never see slices of meat. Huh? Yeah, that is soya. I love meat so much, but now I have to eat imitation meat. No, it wasn't real meat. We said we won't tell them yesterday, we'll tell them later. Okay? That wasn't real meat, it was soya, they make it into shape of a meat. Okay? But don't stress about the meat, don't stress about the cigarettes. Stress about the alcohol. If anybody is drinking some beer, yeah, you can stress about that. Because we need the mind to be sharp now. We're going to fight. We're fighting on many fronts, Prince.
Yes.
We're fighting politically, we're fighting community, we're fighting enemies, we're fighting our own sand people are going to fight us. Our own sand people are going to fight us. Soon as they see us established, soon as they see some prosperity, then they're going. We can't be drunk if they're fighting us. We have to be, when you're sleeping, your one eye has to be open. If you're drunk, what happens? Huh? Yeah, you pass out. And they won't be coming for the guru. I'm here. They come in for the paramount chiefs. Oh. They come in for you because you are leading the people. Prince, did I miss out anything? Okay. So I hope today will be etched in your memory forever. And I hope you'll enjoy the experience when I talk in the ear. When I give you the name, was there an experience? You feel something going down? All of you, you feel? That enter your soul. That's going to open your 7 vortexes of energy centers in your body. All right? So take it's not a Hindu thing. It's what's in your body. Everybody got the same thing. Everybody got 7 centers of power in them. So I just opened. I want the power to flow up, and up. Some beer can make it flow down. All right, you work it out. Whether you want the power or whether you want the beer, up to you. When you're going for the beer, and your hand go there, then think power, beer. Power, beer. When you go bottle store, think power, beer. Power, beer. It's up to you. Guru give you a choice. But I open the powers. You all are free to flow. So, Prince, I think after lunch, we're going to have a quick meeting with our friends from Parliament, and then everything will be sorted. I want all these things documented, both the princes. Whatever meetings we have, whatever we do, wherever we move, we need to document it, and we need you all to sit and come to it. This is you got your MK High Command. This is our High Command. There's a High Command in the frontier. Everything must go through the High Command. The consensus must be taken, and we must move with consensus all the time. Because when our enemies attack us, we must have authentic documentation. Prince, do a register. Quickly sign it and keep it. I can keep it in ashram when you come. Let's do everything right. Let's do everything legal, and let's do everything correct, so we can't get attacked by anybody. Because these lawyers are liars. You know, lawyers are liars. They come with a story, with a technical story, and they can break our whole structure down through technicality. So let us not give the lawyers any loopholes. Okay, we're going to do something that's called an arti. It's part of my tradition. Everyone do not have to get involved. It is for the devotees. But if you feel you want to do it, then you can do it, but you're not obligated to do it, and the Guru takes no offense if you do not do it. Our relationship is still the same. It's just something that in my tradition and culture that we close our session with. Are there any questions? Baba, you alright? That's the main thing. Okay, Jess. Jai Shriman Narayan.
Jai Shri Narayan.